Malakota, Adramelech, Alciel, and Lucifer, the four generals of the Dark Lord Satan, who rules a dimension where magic is present, set on a campaign to annex the human race to their dark realm by conquering the continent of Ente Isla. However, a valiant hero emerges and commands the human soldiers in battle, driving the evil forces back to their stronghold. The Dark Lord retreats, along with Alciel, opens a dimensional portal, and departs their world, promising to come back and conquer Ente Isla in the future. Here, Satan squares off against the hero, but with neither being able to decisively defeat the other and his armies disintegrating, the Dark Lord retreats. In addition to being startled by their new human bodies, Satan and Alciel are taken to the closest police station, where Satan learns a little bit about this new world that is devoid of magic. The portal exits in contemporary Sasazuka, Japan. As things develop, Satan and Alciel adopt new identities as Sadao Ma and Shir Ashia, respectively. In order to survive, they each obtain a home, open a bank account, and look for work. They also decide that Shir will take care of their household needs while Sadao works. Later, while traveling to his part-time employment at a McRonald's location, Sadao meets a stunning girl with scarlet hair at a crosswalk and offers to give her his umbrella so she may stay dry. While visiting McRonald, Sadao encounters a seemingly unrelated small earthquake and wrestles with the decision of whether to utilize his remaining magic to fix the damaged fryers. He ultimately decides against doing so. Sadao is able to obtain permanent employment despite impressing his superiors and Chiho Sasuke, a colleague employee, with his interpersonal abilities. The scarlet-haired girl, who is revealed to be Amelia, the hero from their dimension, confronts him once more as he eagerly cycles his bicycle home to inform Shiro. Amelia and her companions pursue Satan and Alciel after they leave Ente Isla. Back in the current day, Sadao tries to reason with Amelia, who's now going by the name Emi Yusa, but she ignores him and tries to hurt him. Then, much to Emi's annoyance, they're both arrested and taken to a police station for questioning, where the officer in charge assumes that they're having a domestic dispute. Emi threatens Sadao on the way home, but he just shrugs it off. The next day, Emi visits them while fuming over the fact that she isn't enjoying a better standard of living than Sadao. Shiro, startled, locks her out, but after Sadao quietly explains her situation, she's allowed inside. She makes a remark about Sadao's lifestyle before explaining that she and Archbishop Olba Mei intended to follow them through the portal before it vanished, but only she was really transported. Emi starts following Sadao and Shiro around town over the following few days, during which time she discovers that they are leading decent, modest lives. She follows up on this by asking him whether he had thought about staying in the human world after work, to which he brashly replies that he will return to conquer Ente Isla. They both quickly flee after being the target of a sniper's magical attack at that same moment. Aware that they might share an adversary, Sadao accuses Emi before heading out for the evening. To his surprise, Emi returns to his flat and nervously begs if she may stay the night because she lives far away and misplaced her wallet during their escape. To Shiro's horror, Sadao nonchalantly offers her sanctuary once more as Emi sobs inside over how she managed to find herself in that predicament. That evening, Chiho sends Sadao an enigmatic text asking for his counsel and telling him that there will be more earthquakes. While Chiho eagerly anticipates her meeting with Sadao, the national news reports about the attack that Emi and Sadao were involved in the following morning. In the meantime, Emi gets a call at work from the same adversary who fired at them, explaining that it would be better for Ente Isla if she killed both her and Satan. Later, Sadao's bicycle left at the scene helps the police hunt him down, and Emi is compelled to confirm his identity while also warning him about their shared foe. Later, Sadao meets Chiho for a date. Unbeknownst to them, Shiro and Emi, the latter of whom drags Shiro into the cafe to listen in on Sadao, are following them. Chiho informs Sadao on the date that she had recently been hearing a weird language. The language of Ente Isla is unknown to her. She goes on to say that the speakers were attempting to get in touch with someone and mentioned a large earthquake that would soon take place. Sadao understands that the events were created by the Idealink magical communication system, and that the earthquakes were probably brought on by a sonar spell seeking to find him and Emi. A startled Sadao notices Emi enter the cafe at this point, and before Chiho has a chance chance to tell him her secret, Emi interrupts her. An enormous earthquake unexpectedly occurs as Chiho and Emi are having a loud dispute because Chiho misunderstands Emi's justification for interrupting. Chiho briefly awakens to find herself surrounded by destruction. She makes up with Emi and she warns her once more about Sadao before using a sleep spell to put her to sleep. Then, when Emi calls out to Satan, the evil figure of Satan emerges from the debris. Emi considers using her remaining magic to murder him then and there, but Satan shockingly informs her that he will help them escape the fallen mall, leaving Emi perplexed as to why he would do so. Satan keeps using his sorcery to clear the rubble and protect everyone within the mall. Emi gets a flashback of her joyful childhood on Ente Isla with her father, before being called by the church to begin training with a magical sword to slay demons while she's outside the wrecked mall. Soon after, when Satan's armies raided their town and killed her father, she became determined to slay him. Back in the present, Sadao discovers and tells Emi that the spell he placed on her father, Inspector Sasuke, when he first came to Japan, resulted in magical feedback for Chiho. Before they go, Sadao further explains to her that the earthquake was a planned attempt on their lives. After that, Emi spends the night at the home of her co-worker Rika Suzuki, where Rika uses the Kobe earthquake she suffered as a child to demonstrate to Emi how human nature can alter in the face of catastrophe. The following day, Emi visits Sadao and trips and falls on the stairs of his apartment building. Sadao tries to help Emi with her wounds, but his unexpected kindness enrages her, and she explains why she wants him killed. Chiho misinterprets Emi and Sadao's relationship and flees with a broken heart. Just afterward, Mikishiba, Sadao's landlady, enters and suggests they pursue Chiho while making reference to her association with the Idea Link and sonar spells. Chiho, who is moving across the street with tears in her eyes, comes upon a weird individual who appears to have black wings in front of onlookers. An explosion erupts as Sadao, Emi, and Shiro approach from a distance, and the wing person takes to the air. Sadao recognizes the individual as his demon general, Lucifer, as he and his companions ascend the ruins. Emi inquires as to how Lucifer survived their early encounter on Ente Isla, and Sadao, to Emi's horror, explains that he was helped by her former friend, Olba May, who had vowed to restore Lucifer to heaven in exchange for his assistance. Shir is wounded as Lucifer continues to attack Sadao and the others. Sadao explains to Emi as the party flees that Lucifer uses his power to manipulate unfavorable feelings and was therefore responsible for the string of muggings in Sasazuka. Sadao teleports himself and Emi to the packed Sasazuka station as they're being besieged. The stunned crowd watches as Lucifer appears to shoot Sadao in the head with a magical bullet, killing him instantly, before destroying the overhead transport bridge. Emi and Chiho were about to be crushed by the debris when Satan, in his demonic form, appeared. Using the viewer's bad feelings as fuel for his powers, Satan was able to save Emi and Chiho. Then, as Amelia summons her magic and fights Lucifer in the air, Satan constructs a magical barrier that renders all the civilians comatose. Then, Alciel arrives, cured, and enters the conflict in his demonic form. Chiho observes the amazing scene as Satan uses a multi-layered magical punch to defeat Olba and then Lucifer. After that, Chiho is formally introduced to Sadao and company, Emeralda Etva and Alberto Ende. Two of Emi's fellow Ente Islans reunite with her at this very moment and enter a portal to reveal the corrupt state of the church on Ente Isla. Alberto adds that he used the Idea Link and sonar spells, which Chiho intercepted later at Sadao's residence. Satan, meanwhile, erases the thoughts of the populace while also using his remaining magic to repair the city. Later at McDonald, Chiho yells at Sadao as he tells her he has enough to erase her memory. They talk about the repercussions of letting the truth get out to the rest of the church that the Dark Lord, Emilia, Emeralda, and Alberto are still alive. A girl reports to the church's headquarters on Ente Isla that Archbishop Olba's prior allegation that he murdered them was untrue. While learning how to use the internet, Lucifer, who is now wanted by the police in connection with the recent muggings, moves in with Sadao and Shir in Japan and takes the name Hans Urishihara. Hans discovers via the internet that there is a legend that an abandoned classroom at a nearby school, which turns out to be Chiho's school, is the site of paranormal activity and some portal activation site to Ente Isla. In an effort to use the gateway to draw magic power, Sadao and Shir decide to look into the matter. Along with Chiho, the group enters the school that evening. Emi, however, claims that she must watch over Sadao despite the fact that she is free to return to Ente Isla at any time. Sadao and company try and fail to get rid of Emi, which culminates in her accidentally smashing a science model. When the gang finally arrives at the deserted classroom, they discover that Hans and Olba had used it as their operational hub before each of their betrayals and alliances. Hans then requests that Sadao help him get his PS Vita gaming console, which he had unintentionally left behind. Hans argues that he had simply forgotten to let them know that he had lived there, which infuriates the group. The same girl who reported the incident to the Church of Ente Isla is later seen via the classroom window, indicating that she opened a portal when the group is outdoors. Later, a new resident enters Sadao's apartment complex, and Sadao rescues her as she collapses while falling down the stairs. That's it, folks. We've come to the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button for more awesome anime recaps just like this one. Also, don't forget to share your feedback below and let us know which anime you want to see next. This is Anime Caps. Until next time, in part 2.